Today I want to tell you guys how to get a job in the recruitment industry. A lot of you guys message me and ask me, look, how can I get a job in recruitment? And sometimes you guys ask me about how you can start recruitment companies, but many times it's about how can you get into the recruitment field? Do you need a degree? How much money can you earn? I'm going to answer those questions. So wait until the end, and that's where I'm going to tell you how much money you can actually make. Can you make £100,000 a year like they all say? I'll go through that, but how to get a job in the recruitment industry. A lot of the companies do expect you to have an element of education, and sometimes they do say, look, we do want someone who has a degree. My company used to say they want someone with a degree, but to be fair, even if you didn't have a degree, you could get a job in the recruitment field. The skills you need to have is someone who is personable, who is able to build rapport, a bit of a chitter-chatter, a bit of someone who has a personality, and that's the sort of thing they really look out for. Now, is recruitment for you? Look, it's a very sales-driven environment. You can make a lot of money, there's no doubt. And I'm gonna go into how much you can make, but you can make a lot of money. And because of that, it does take a lot of hard work. Like, there's a lot of calls you have to do, a lot of selling you have to do, a lot of being on the phone. And sometimes people do find that a little bit difficult. Recruitment companies, usually when you're coming in as a trainee recruitment consultant, expect you to be able to hold yourself and hold yourself in a conversation. There's an element of maturity that needs to come with you. You can't be the sort of person that gets scared to pick up the phone, because picking up the phone is in essence what makes you the money. So when you're looking to make that money, trust me, you really want to come across confident in the interview. You really want to come across as if, you've had a lot of past experiences. Even if you're like 19, 20 or 21, really talk about like experiences that have made you stand out. Something companies really look out for is resilience. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. What do I mean by resilience? A lot of the times in recruitment, you think you're going to have a deal and you think you're going to close this deal, but it falls through. A lot of the times this happens. But the person who is successful in recruitment is actually the one who says, that's fine, I expected that. Or, qadar Allah, and you carry on. You carry on and you say, no, you know what, let me just bang the phone, let me just keep calling, let me keep sending CVs, and let me keep at it. Recruitment companies will really, really look out for the sort of people that are resilient and will not get bogged down and upset if something falls through for them. An example of this, to be fair, could be you get a client, they're really interested, they want someone, and you're like, great, you spend days, 2-3 days looking for the perfect candidate for this company, and then what happens is you send them forward, the client's really interested, they want to interview him, they interview them, they get the job, and the candidate then, before getting the job, rings you and says, oh, by the way, I got a job somewhere else, I'm not interested anymore. And so all that time you're thinking about, oh, you know what, I got a placement, like I'm gonna make money, your manager's happy with you, your directors are happy with you, but your deal falls through, no fault of your own. The guy just got a better job somewhere else, or he's just happier somewhere else. There are ways though you can avoid this. There are many ways you can avoid this. To be honest, man, it takes a long time to really understand every part of recruitment and make every single part of the recruitment process easier for you. Unfortunately, I can't go through that all in the video or even in YouTube videos because it's just so long. But to give you guys an idea, being resilient, being charismatic is so super important in a recruitment industry. So that's my one advice in terms of getting interviews, in terms of actually getting yourself out there. Honestly, pick up the phone to these recruitment companies. Wherever you are, search recruitment company near wherever you are and call those companies, because if you call them and say, I'm really interested in getting a job in recruitment, do you have any trainee recruitment consultants roles available? You'll be surprised how many companies actually say, you know what, come in for a chat. Why? Because you're doing something that no one else did. You're doing something to stick out. You're doing something to be different. And recruitment companies love that, because in essence, that's exactly the sort of person they're looking for. They want you to be able to get on the phone, be confident, not be scared of the phone, not be afraid of someone giving you rejection. Like sometimes we don't do things because we're just scared of rejection, and they love that. So trust me, if you want a job in recruitment, pick up the phone, do a Google search, recruitment companies in my area, and just call them. Call them and say, can I come in for a chat? I'm really interested in having a I'm really interested in getting a training recruitment consultant role. You'll be surprised how many interviews you line up. But when you do, come back to this video and comment below that you've got some interviews in recruitment if that's where you want to get into. But I want to tell you guys, how much money can you make as a trainee consultant, as a recruitment consultant? How much money can you guys make? Okay, cool. So Usually, as a trainee recruitment consultant, you're looking at about 18 to 22,000 pounds. It does depend on where you're based. Up north, usually they tend to pay a little bit less. They'll pay like 18, 19, 20. And closer to central London, they'll pay 22, 23, sometimes even 24 for a trainee recruitment consultant. That's the basic salary though. They expect you to make commission. And so how does the commission work? Usually it's between 8 to 12% of your initial placements. So for example, you make £10,000 a month, you would get 10%, which is £1,000. So, £1,000 times 12, £12,000 plus, let's say 18,000, £30,000 in your first year. Is that very realistic? Many times, no, that's actually very difficult to do. Alhamdulillah, to be fair, I actually did do that in my first year, but it's very difficult to do. You have to be proper on it, like sleep recruitment when you're working for a recruitment company. But there are people who do it. Usually you're looking at like 5-6 grand commission on top of your basic salary in your first year. The thing is though, once you build a client base and once clients are like really interested and happy to use you, you can make a lot of money. It is very possible for you to make 100,000, 120, 140, 150. You'll be surprised how much money you can make in recruitment in years. Like there are people who have been in recruitment for 8, 9, 10 years, and now they're easily making £150,000 because they've got all these clients, they've got all these candidates, they're doing really well for themselves and they're working for someone. But the thing is, they're probably making like £500,000, £750,000 for the company. So if they were doing it for themselves, alhamdulillah. What I will say is how quickly can you get to that 100,000? I would probably say it's realistic in about 5 years. So I would say 25, 30,000 is realistic in your first year. Moving on gradually, 10,000, and some people obviously excel more and you can make more and more money. Your basic salary obviously will go up the more money you make because they will promote you. Managers usually are making about 45 to 50,000 basic, but they also get commission on their team. So you'll make a little bit of money on that plus your commission. You know what I mean? It all adds up. But I hope inshallah this video benefited you guys. I hope you guys can get an understanding of how to get a job in recruitment. Just get on the phone, speak to them, and honestly put yourself out there. The sort of money you can make, basics are 18 to 20, plus commission 25, 26, roughly. With experience, 3-4 years, if you're doing really well, you can make 50, 60, but usually you're looking at about 35, 40-ish after about 3-4 years experience. It's a good career job, but it does take a lot of hard work. So I hope you guys understand that. Don't just think that it's easy because it's not. Sales is difficult. You do need to learn. Really just go in humbly and yeah, you can progress. I did, alhamdulillah. I owe a lot to the recruitment industry, but most importantly, first Allah Azza wa Jal. Jazakallah khairan again. Like, share and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.